Today is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 43, Week 5.
This episode was titled, Stop with All the Niceness.
Who said that?
Ryan.
I missed that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought about it at the beginning and then I just completely missed it.
Yep, it was subtle. It was something that he said to James, rather, when they were on the beach, and he was wanting him to make Ryan more of a villain or something. I don't know.
Last week I caught who said what.
Yep.
This week you. So
yep.
Thank goodness we're both on
Go
it.
team.
It takes us both.
Okay, we're on Coco Beach. It's night 9 after voting out Lindsay. Cassidy tells us the four of us were set to get Gio out, and then Lindsay spiraled, and we had to flip it to her. So she's very clear on how that went down and why.
Yep.
No mystery. And she wants to talk to someone. And Ryan, he's ready to talk with her, but Gio said, well, I'm the one that voted for you. So they take a vote. I mean, they take a walk.
So she's like, well, maybe I need to speak to you then.
At which point, he throws Ryan under the bus and said, it was Ryan's plan.
Well, and
One vote on you because you gave Lindsay info.
maybe that's why Ryan was going to talk to her. He was going to own it.
Or maybe that, I don't know. That just seemed a little wormy of Gio. So I don't know if that was the truth or not.
I bought it as truth.
And like her friend Lindsay, she vowed revenge. Cassidy said, I'll get him back. I did not think that would come to fruition, though.
So like, geez, it doesn't always work out that way, people.
Gio tells us he's fine. He's got the numbers, and he's set till they get till the merge.
Yeah, and she's completely on the outs, and there's nothing she can do about it. That's why he told her the truth. There's nothing she can do about it.
Right.
She thinks she's in with the group, but she's not.
Now,
I am.
What did you think about that talk between Karla and Cassidy on the beach, where they said, oh, they think they're the kings, they got the big heads, but that equals mistakes? Did you think Karla was being truthful with Cassidy at that point? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, you're looking at me a little
I was
odd.
like, what, be more specific. What are you asking me exactly? Them on the beach. They were on the beach quite
They took a walk
times.
after that, or
yes, I
the next
realized
day.
that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure where you were going with
Okay.
it. So yes, I remember that, and I did think she was being legitimately honest with her.
So much like on the Baka tribe, where Elie and Jeanine have said, these knucklehead guys, Karla and Cassidy are having a similar discussion here.
Yeah, I think theirs was a little more realistically based than...
More realistic knuckleheads than
No.
Gabler?
No, I'm not saying that. Just that they know more what's going on with them realistically than Elie and Jeanine know what's really going on with their guys.
Right.
They just think they do.
Gotcha. Good deal. Speaking of Baka, it's day 10 now, and Elie and Jeanine are searching. And Elie tells us there's a tree. It's got all the hallmarks. So Jeanine heads over
And yet it wasn't where she thought it was
to
in that
check
tree.
the nooks and crannies. And that tree was covered in ants.
Boy, it was. And the clue. Yuck.
Or the Beware Advantage. So Jeanine does end up finding it in one of the nooks of the trunk.
At least they
Or
weren't
cranny.
fire
I
ants.
guess that was a cranny. Yeah.
Yes, I guess that would be a cranny. But she found it. Good on her. I really thought it was Elie that was going to find it. So,
Since she had been close to it before, yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of thought it was Elie. I was wrong.
and she is more than willing to risk it. Elie tells her, I'm sure we're safe. Go for it.
Yeah, they were so confident that we don't need your vote. Mm-hmm. We're all together. We got this. We don't need your vote. Go ahead, risk it. Thought easy for you to say. Though I think she was being legitimately honest with her that they do believe it, that he does not know. How good an actor is he?
I love that sequence too when Elie was talking about making sure to hide it from Owen, and who shows up? Owen, busted. He totally
They're
saw
like,
him. They were still trying to hide it, weren't they?
Yep. And he could tell that. You can tell when somebody's trying to be sneaky.
What was that? He asked.
Exactly.
So they let him read it, and he reads it, and he goes,
see.
I could really mess things up. That was from the clip last week, next time on.
And they had been talking about, they were trying to decide, they didn't really trust Owen either. So it could be Owen or Gabler. So
Owen took that choice away from them.
For the moment,
and
anyway.
it sort of flipped into his hand. So he tells us he had been thinking about working with him. He ends up giving Jeanine his bead.
Well, he kind of has to if he wants to give the opinion that, we're together, solid.
And
you bet. Here's my bead.
I understood what he was saying.
Absolutely.
This is how you demonstrate trust. I'm making the first move. I'm giving her the bead.
Absolutely.
What did you think about Ellie's conversation with Sami?
I was surprised that she told him, but do you think it's because she really believes that they're tight?
Yes.
Or she thought Owen would tell him? Or obviously I think they feel closer to Sami than the others. So I do think that the girls think they have a tight three with Sami.
It was kind of a shady way for Elie to do it. Because she even said, this is Jeanine's to tell, but Jeanine has, and she needs the bead.
And she needs your bead.
Yeah.
Then really all they need is Gabler, and it's a go.
Yes.
And she has an idol, but then Gabler's, oh no, I want to give that one to my daughter.
Yeah, that was some drama, temporarily.
Don't let her have it.
Yeah.
But then she talked him out of it. Good on her.
This was another next time on clip from last week. He cut to Elie in a confessional saying, boom, this has messed everything up.
Yeah, because now she's lost her vote.
But Jeanine, just like Karla, just pivoted and worked her way back in and got Gabler to give her that final bead. Yep. Now, this was the real twist where Sami decides to tell Gabler what really happened.
Well, he's been telling Gabler everything. So, which
Gabler,
I kind of think is smart. Because if Gabler finds out anything from anybody else and Sami didn't tell him, that could damage their relationship. Mm-hmm. But if Sami tells him, he's like, look, I didn't have time to warn you.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't seem very believable. But the mere shock, you could tell it rocked Gabler for sure. Yeah.
He's like, are you kidding? It's like, no.
I like how Gabler just repeats, gave Jeanine. You could tell he was processing. He was rewinding and running through that again. What are you saying? Okay.
What? We just gave her an idol? What do you mean we gave her an idol? Well, that would be kind of shocking.
I loved his summary too. Yeah, it would. It would catch you off guard for sure. And his summary is, well, she got me. How about that?
Yep.
Proud of her.
Well, I kind of am proud of his reaction.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then
so,
she got me.
Boom. Jeanine has an immunity bracelet now.
Well, I kind of like that she said something to the effect of, oh, thank you for, giving me my artistic, satisfying my artistic flair for this bead. Oh, thank you so much for that. Mm-hmm. I thought, that was very convincing. I kind of like that.
And then you got Sami just pulling the wool off of Gabler's eye so he can actually see what went down. Yeah.
My thing is on Survivor, if somebody's asking for those kinds of things, give them nothing. Oh, no.
Or do what he first did.
This is my daughter's favorite color. I have to give this one.
Give them something, just not what they want.
Exactly. You can have any of the others, but this is my daughter's favorite.
And we're off to the immunity challenge. So, immunity/reward, because they're giving out some tarps to help with those storms. First tribe to win gets the big tarp. Second tribe gets a little tarp. Third tribe goes to tribal council.
That's right. That seemed to come up really fast, didn't it, in the episode?
Yeah, we were kind of thinking it would play out that way because they had so much to do with the
Because
risk
they
reward
went to-
island
yes.
and yeah.
Yes, with the 1 hour, they can't go out there and have 2 challenges, I don't think. So, or they certainly haven't been able to so far.
Well, they could. It would be a lot of quick editing. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's really
I don't want 'em
feasible. Yeah, me either. It's like, no, give us either or. I like that better because then there's adequate time.
So all these elements I think we've seen before, they're just combined in a slightly new way. There's an obstacle course. The 4 tribe members that are going to participate are connected together. So they've got to get through the classic one where they basically have all these sticks that are tightly jammed in. You got to find a path through them. That didn't seem to hold them back too much. Baka struggled a little. But
No, but
Vesi and
I
Coco
would have
got through.
hated being tied to anybody else trying to do that kind of thing. It makes it so much harder.
And the path was up and over in some cases, but Noelle just totally managed it fine.
Yeah.
So they got to get through the tight stick, the close quarters, navigate their way through and not get caught or anything like that. Then they got to do some over-unders, and then they grab a pot, fill it with water, and go across
Okay, that was hard.
a teeter-totter that has a net. So the platform is basically a net. So it's moving, and then you got the whole seesaw back and forth action, and you got to keep the water in there. And then once they get over it, they dump the water into a bucket, and they get enough water into the bucket, it releases a gate, and they go down and they roll these balls up like a skee ball kind of thing,
Well,
where they've just got to get them to stop on a platform at the top.
it was great that the guys on Vesi were able to support Noelle with that because
Fantastic teamwork all around. Yeah.
the part of the leg that she was wearing would have just easily, caught on that and got it, especially with it moving like that back and forth. And so I thought they did an excellent job with that.
Yeah, she just picked her leg up and then hopped off, and she was good to go. So when I saw that in the commercial, I thought, man, that's going to be really hard on her.
Is that why you chose them to lose?
Yeah, absolutely.
Me
I thought
too,
it's
and we
finally. I think one of these challenges is going to get her, but nope, not even. Not
All
even
week
close.
long, right up till today, we were both like, I don't know. Probably just use Geo. I don't know. And then I finally just went ahead and made my picks because I had something to do, and you still hadn't made yours then. And then later on, I was like, oh wow, Stacy and I both picked the same tribe. Wait a minute, he picked somebody I have safe to go home. How dare you?
You're mad at me before the episode aired.
And then, but we both picked that team, which was so odd because we were both saying, oh, Geo's the move. And then we don't pick Geo.
Coco got done first with opening the gate so they could start rolling the balls up. And then Vesi was second. Baka was struggling a little. But then they finally got through. And then it was Ryan rolling for Coco, Dwight for Vesi, and Sami for Baka.
Okay, I'm just not buying that Ryan threw that. I just don't believe it.
So Vesi wins, and then Baka, and it looked like
Coco.
yeah, it looked like they had a good chance, and then like you said, Ryan manages to knock all 3 of those balls off, and so Baka ends up taking second and wins the small tarp, and Coco's going back to tribal. I'm with you. I thought it was just the way he delivered it that when he said he threw it, I thought, I think you're lying. I think you're trying to cover for
I
you
think he
screwed
was
up.
embarrassed that
Yeah.
he messed it up right there at the last second and lost the challenge.
Just didn't believe him.
I didn't either. I thought, nah, that sounds a little convenient.
Yeah.
Or something. I just did not believe it. I thought he was a little embarrassed and just, trying to save face. And I thought, however, if you did do it on purpose, now I don't care if I lose a safe point and you go home. If you threw that challenge.
Yeah.
So, fine. Send him home.
Okay, we get back to the Coco camp there on day 11, and Ryan's telling him, I'm sorry, but then he's telling us in the confessionals again, I threw it, and then tell her it's me that you're going to vote me out.
Because I messed up, and she'll believe that. But then when they talk to Cassidy, she's worried that Gio's going to have an idol. She really does want to choose Ryan instead.
Yeah, James seems fine. He's ready to pivot to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure, he's good with that when the two of them are talking.
Yeah, did you believe Ryan, all that stuff he was telling Cassidy? Oh, no, don't not vote for me. I don't want you to be outside the vote. But that seemed more unbelievable to me than it's like he went too far over the top trying to convince her.
Certainly she wasn't buying it. He was acting so noble. That didn't fit at all.
Though I did like it when Karla was like, good acting job. Keep it up.
And this is roughly at the point where we got the title, when Ryan and James were talking, and James was congratulating on Ryan on doing such a good job chopping that tree down. And that's where Ryan said, hey, don't be nice to me. Remember, you got to pretend like you're voting me out. And Ryan tells us this is all about resume building for him. It's going to be a big Survivor moment.
You know what I like about James and Karla? They're pretty much willing to flip on a dime. If it seems easier for it, yeah, okay, we could vote out Ryan. Or, yeah, we can vote out Cassidy. Sure, we can vote out, whoever we want.
Yeah.
They'll flip if it seems like it's going to be the easier vote.
They're ready to pivot. Yes. Yep.
So, but they're hanging tight.
What'd you think about how they handled the risk reward challenge, where they're in the boat and then the boat drives by where the risk reward setup actually
and
is?
And they just keep going.
They go out to stop at a
like,
platform.
What are they doing?
Have to get into a small boat, and then they have to paddle back over there where the risk reward
I get it.
bags are.
And it does give them some time to be together to get. But how are they going to get to know each other when they're out trying to row the boat with the waves swelling up? That you can't chit chat when you're doing that kind of thing and figuring out how to get the boat to go where they want it.
Hey,
in those kind of waves.
Gio took advantage of it. He said, I'm going to lie about being on the bottom and make them feel bad for me.
Yeah.
And then he rolls right out of the boat into the surf when they land.
That's true, he did. Jesse did it on the way back, but
Gio's adamant. He keeps telling them, I'm risking my vote. I'm risking my vote.
There's part of me that really thinks, don't make them do that. They already haven't had a lot of food. They just did a challenge. They're tired.
Oh, come on.
Why are you making them do that?
They made Noelle climb a mountain.
I
so
know.
having these three paddle was nothing.
I didn't think they should have done that either.
Yeah.
I'd rather they just go do what they went to do.
And we get to see the scenario. They all three decide to risk it.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking they weren't going to, the way they were talking, but I don't know why they were saying that, because they didn't have long to change that. And,
so Gio tells us that he's okay with the risk because he'll be protected by his tribe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Jeanine didn't buy any story to start with.
Right.
So, and I'm not sure if Jesse was. He kind of acted like he was, but anyway, when it came down to it, they all three did the risk, which was what we initially thought about, the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we did get to see that then they did indeed have a 33% chance to get the advantage.
Yep, 1 in 3 in bag number 3 when there are 3 people taking the risk. Okay, we're back at Vesi. on day 11, and Jesse, like you said, Jesse also drops into the water when the boat gets back. And he tells us there's no point in being dishonest. He's going to be open with his tribe, so open even that he doesn't follow instructions. He just goes ahead and opens his up and reads his
like
clue
it
out.
tells you to do it
alone. But he's got
like,
no time for that.
They're not here.
And he finds out that he risked and lost. Now he has no vote.
And everybody knows it. Then they flash over.
So if they go to tribal now and Noelle steals Cody's vote,
yep,
neither one of those two has a vote.
That's gonna hurt you a lot more than you think, Jesse.
Dwight and Noelle, yeah. I mean, it could have potentially gone this way. We know it's not going this way now, but we'll get there in just a few minutes.
That changed things, but it did give you a pause in the moment.
The dynamics, yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
I think Noelle may completely have the upper hand at this point. Yep. Okay. Over to Baka, and Jeanine, she doesn't share openly with the tribe. She says she's going to sneak a peek. And so, since they
don't see her come back. How does that happen?
Somehow they don't hear the boat with a motor, and so she's able to sneak off and check, and she finds out that she has no vote at the next tribal council.
But she acts very well, very surprised, and
comes back and then shares with the tribe.
So she didn't do, she did do what it said, but she didn't let them know she did what it said.
Right. It's got Sami confused. He says that is a funky way to play.
And at this point, we're like, oh no, Gio got it. It's like, what did he get?
All right, over to Coco. And Gio tells him that he did not risk it, that they took him over to the platform, and that's where everything was set up, and he decided he couldn't risk his vote. So that's exactly what he chose, and it was the other two that took the risk.
But then he walks off with Karla and tells her the truth and opens it up.
He's got to share so someone will know how smart he is.
I know that. So people really trust Karla. Seems like everybody, up to this point anyways, trusting Karla.
Good position. She does seem to end up with all the information. And Gio ends up getting the knowledge is power advantage. He tells us he is going to save that for later.
Well, Karla's really liking it, too. Ooh, we could do a lot with that. That could be used to somebody, and then she went...
1, 2...
Including me.
Yes, me.
I have an idol.
He might use that against me.
It's a good thing I didn't tell anybody I have an idol.
Yes.
But, and obviously they didn't figure it out with the whole beads thing. And so, yeah... All of a sudden, then, he's her big threat. I would have tried to get him somehow to give that to me for safekeeping. Why don't you just give that to me?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. That would really mess with the trust. But
I would have really liked to see her keep that.
to the greater point, she probably was conflicted just a little bit because they're thinking they're going into the merge soon. Yeah. And they're going in way low on numbers against the other two tribes that are working against them in some of the challenges. She's got to have that on her mind. So, yeah, it seems like she would want to have access to that. It would give you pause.
Well, but because they've lost the last two, I don't know if that will still be accurate or not, that the other two tribes will join up against them, so... I'm betting Karla and James can get in somewhere. But, yeah, that is something to think about. And you thought maybe she should keep Gio and keep it with them for their use after the merge.
Yeah, that is a lot to have. And that could really flip the balance in your direction.
It could. But, obviously, it was wasted. And even Gio said... he'd never seen much come of it.
Yeah, he wanted to be the one to actually use it effectively. Either. And here we see history starts to repeat itself a little bit. Cassidy gets antsy, and James tells us she's acting like Lindsay.
Well, James and Karla are saying, okay, it's Gio. He doesn't have anything. We'll get him. And now she's like, no, she's kind of fixated on Ryan now, and she don't want to switch. Here she's been after Gio all this time. And that's when I thought, good on James and Karla. They were willing. If she's going to be difficult, we can pivot to you. That would be very simple. They just vote with Ryan and Gio.
I had a little gleam of hope that I would not lose safe points because I had Gio and Ryan safe. So when Cassidy proceeded, at least initiated a sequence of events to shoot herself in the foot.
You were like, yes.
Yes, there's hope yet. So I went into tribal council somewhat hopeful.
Alas.
Tribal council night 11. Probst is asking Cassidy, what about momentum? How do you feel about momentum? Cassidy says, well, I believe in it, and it can shift back in our favor. So.
Yeah, and we had good momentum coming into this game. And
Brian's working on his acting career. He said momentum is a group effort when he gets asked the same question, and I dropped the ball.
And if it's me going home, I'll just look at everyone and smile.
So be
then
it.
I thought, okay, now I'm vote Ryan. I'll lose a point, but I don't care.
Probst really didn't do what he normally does because Cassidy was making lots of different faces when Ryan was doing that spiel. And she just, when she gets asked about it, he doesn't point out that she's reacting a lot. She just says, well, that's an interesting way to play. It's not a normal way to play the game.
Yeah, she was making it obvious that she wasn't buying what he was selling.
But Probst seemed to just sort of, he didn't jump on it the way he sometimes does.
If I were Ryan, I'd have been a little bit concerned when Karla said, well, there's a part of me that's ready with the knife.
Easy vote. Why not?
And I thought, yeah.
But Ryan's a giver. Would you really vote out a giver like Ryan, Karla?
Yes, in a heartbeat if it served her.
Gio's pretending like he's just catching up with everything.
Well, he was. All of a sudden, he's a little uneasy. He's like, what are they talking about? I don't even know of this. I don't know. I better make sure the votes aren't on me. I don't know who to vote for.
What did you think about Karla's long pause when Probst asked her, do you think Gio's telling the truth, that he didn't get anything?
Maybe she was still weighing her options of keeping it.
I believed her.
It's like, well.
Because I think she went into deep thought and she was just playing out different options in her head.
Yeah.
She got busted for
kind
it.
Kind of forgot about Probst.
She took too long, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, he asked me a question. Well, I was thinking, Jeff.
I was kind of hoping they were going to vote Ryan out when he kept going with this humble me thing.
Yeah, and I thought, now I really want to see his reaction if they vote him out. I don't see him walking out with a smile.
That would have been sweet. Well, maybe they could write what they liked most about me when Probst asked him if they wanted.
I don't think Probst was even buying it.
He wanted a smiley face if they wrote his name down.
No, that's too sugar sweet, syrupy. Blech. Okay.
So when they go up to vote, they show Gio voting for Cassidy, and he's basically saying, it had to be you. But when Cassidy gets her turn, what did you think about what she said there?
I thought she was sending her direct message that, that this vote will strengthen my alliance going into the merge. So as long as they vote with me, I'm yours.
When she voted, she said, I put blanks in your gun, but I got real bullets. I like mine. That. That was good.
I have the real bullets.
Time to read the votes.
Well, she first said, you think you're playing me. And he did. So,
yep.
Okay.
Cassidy gets 2 right out of the gate.
Well, we knew who those were from.
A little bit of drama, and then here they come for Gio. 1, 2, 3. Gio is stunned. He is out.
He really was surprised.
Ryan and Gio were both surprised. They were looking at each other trying to figure out what happened.
What happened? Hello, there's 3 votes. What do you think happened?
We were doing so good.
Gio
I was acting.
Didn't vote for himself, and you didn't, Ryan. So, hello. And Karla did say sorry to Gio, but he...
Oh, she didn't say sorry to Gio. She said that to Ryan.
Oh, I thought she said she was talking to Gio.
No, I think she was trying to soothe things over with Ryan because She could tell he was having a reaction.
Well, I want to see what he has to say when they get back. Make sure the cameras are running. Let's see how sweet Ryan is right now.
No more papaya and coconuts for you guys.
It's like, well, you think it'll hurt them going into the merge, or?
It depends on how much Cassidy rubs it in.
Well, she'd be wise not to going into a merge. You don't want to
But she doesn't
alienate anyone.
She doesn't know. You're kind of jumping ahead a little bit to the next time on. But
well, I
when
don't know that even is the merge. But
from tribal council,
I'm not talking about the next on. I'm talking about they know the merge is coming, and it's not going to be too far off. So that's what I mean by going into the merge is that they know it's not far away.
I really think Cassidy should bust his chops, humble him out for real, and then patch things up.
Yeah, that doesn't always work so well. I don't.
No, he may pout. He may have a fit or something like that, but
or he may want
with
revenge.
His over the top acting. Yeah. So unlike Lindsay, Cassidy really does get revenge, and hers was quick. I didn't want to believe it since, that was part of the next time on, her saying she was going to get revenge. Well, doggone it, she certainly did it. Obviously with the help of James and Karla.
I was going to say, she had help.
Okay, so now we've got Coco with 4, Vesi with 4, and Baka with 5. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, do you think that will shift the balance?
But Jeanine doesn't have a vote.
When they come to the merge, neither does Jesse.
That's true.
So going back to my question, we had seen Baka and Vesi team up against Coco.
Well,
but
Vesi
now
could go to Coco now.
To your point, yeah,
Baka.
because they're both tribes of 4.
Yeah. Well, some of it could be too if when people were out on Risk Island, did they make alliances? We know some of them did. James, I don't remember with who, but James was one of them. But anyway, there could be other connections that will come up that they feel like they have a connection with someone.
Right. So that was James, Noelle, and Owen when they went and had to climb the mountain.
The most important thing is if they do merge, and one of the people, well, let's just do next on, then we'll talk about it.
Okay. We see the boats bringing Vesi and Coco over to where Baka is on a beach. We don't know if that's Baka Beach, but probably, since Baka doesn't have their bags with them or anything.
Yeah, and here's where we see 19-year-old Sami.
Who's bringing the beer?
Bring your own bottle. Where's the party at?
Yeah.
I thought, oh yeah, okay, he went right for the party time. And
one of them yells merge, but Probst is the one that makes that
was Jeanine.
Declaration.
Just because she said merge doesn't mean merge.
They're together and they're excited. Well, Jeanine's excited. She says the game is starting, and they're all introducing themselves to each other, and then cut to what appears to be a challenge. You got the women on the left, the men on the right. There's a red mat, there's a blue mat, there's a sit-out bench, there's what looks like the stand to put the immunity idol on.
And nobody's wearing a buff.
Yeah, no buffs on. And Probst says, one final twist. So in 41-42, this is where they divide up into teams, and 2 people sit out, and one of those 2 sit-outs get sent out with the hour and ends up getting the hourglass. But we've been told that there's no hourglass this time to turn back time.
Okay, well, only one person would sit out because there's 13 people. So one person would sit out.
Okay, so one's going to get a temporary exile?
Or who knows what they're going to do with it. Or they may get to say which team they think will win, and they'll go in with that team. But it's possible they could be sent off somewhere where they're not supposed to do the hourglass thing.
Well, this could be one of those scenarios where they go off and actually miss tribal council. They're safe, and then they come back afterwards.
Maybe. I don't know.
And that would bring it back to 12.
Well, what I think is going to happen is possibly they haven't merged yet, And the team that wins may get their buffs like they did before, and the other tribe has to go to tribal council.
Has to compete in a challenge.
And they don't get their buffs until after that tribal council. And then it would be down to 12 people. So they would actually merge at 12 instead of the 13. Fully merge.
Right.
Because that's kind of the way they did before, but they did all that other stuff in between, and then the team that was safe is no longer safe. I'm
So that
hoping
won't
they don't
happen.
do that. Yeah.
You will earn your way into the merge, at least that first team will, and then the second team will when they do the second challenge. And then that team has to go to tribal council.
Yeah, or that's what we're supposing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sami tells us somebody's dream is going to end, and Cassidy said there is nowhere to hide now.
That's not
I'm
true.
not sure what that means exactly.
That's not true, though. Actually, this is the best place and the best time for her to hide. This is where those people in the middle, like her, do their best hiding, is at the beginning of the merge. Historically.
I wonder why Noelle is so scared about what's coming next. Maybe because they've seen the previous seasons and they know what happened before. If they were the tribe that didn't win a buff.
Yeah, who all do we see? We see Cody, Cassidy, Noelle. Who else?
Let's see. You mean that gave the...
They had confessionals.
Yeah, Sami, Cassidy, Noelle, Cody.
And none of them have buffs on when they're doing that. That really jumped out at me when they cut to each of those. There are no buffs there.
Yeah, but when they got to the challenge, nobody had buffs on anyway. So.
At the point where Probst is saying there's one more twist.
Yep.
Yeah. So they already removed their buffs.
But we just don't know what that twist is.
Mm-hmm.
They could have something completely new. It could be completely different.
Well, if it's not the hourglass, then yeah, this is sort of setting the grounds for that, I think.
Yeah. But there is some twist. But, that makes it hard once again to choose.
Yeah. It's been exciting.
Because half of those people could be safe.
Exactly.
We just don't know which half.
Mm-hmm. Well, what did you think about this episode?
It was good. It was packed full, and I think we got a pretty good balance between, challenge and camp time and the risk.
Interesting roller coaster with Jeanine getting immunity and then losing her vote. And now Jeanine and Jesse do not have a vote at the first merged tribal council that they go to.
That's why I thought Jeanine may bow out. It's like, oh no, I already know what it feels like to have lost my vote. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take a chance. I already got an idol. I don't want to take a chance. But I think she went right back to the mentality of, there's no risk for me.
I don't think she
Elie
looked at
and
it
I
that
are
way.
solid, and that's how they looked at it when they opened the Beware Advantage.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt if I lose my vote because I've got a solid alliance. So there's no real risk. But anyway, they all three did it.
I liked it. It's interesting to see how it comes together. We got a lot of moving pieces here, and it's going to be, I think it's just going to ramp up to a whole new level when they come together as a group. So we won't see the final merge in the next episode, or maybe at the very end you'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they won't be together until the end.
Well, they'll be together, but not as a merged tribe. It gets complicated.
Yeah.
Or at least it looks like it's going to be complicated. We don't know that for sure, I guess, yet. But I was a little bit surprised that Owen seemed a little more wishy-washy than I thought he was.
How so?
Well, he seemed to, be solidly with Sami and Gabler, and then he's like, well, no, maybe I'll be with the girls.
No, he said he had been
kind of in with them.
weighing his options. And now you're presented with the fact that they're potentially going to have an immunity bracelet.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of power. That's more powerful than Gabler's because his will expire the next tribal council. But you got to think he's going nowhere in the next episode. Karla's safe. Nobody even knows that she has one.
I'm not sure Owen won't go anywhere in the next episode.
I didn't say that. I said Gabler.
Oh, Gabler.
Because he's safe for the next tribal council he goes to. Likewise, Cody has an immunity idol. Easy to forget about that. Noelle's sitting on a steal a vote. So that's probably part of what's got her anxious.
And Karla's got an immunity idol. And Jeanine. So there's quite a few out there.
See, can you play your immunity idol when you have no vote?
I don't believe... Well, I don't know for sure.
We'll check.
Stop throwing those questions at me. I don't have answers for.
Good question to discuss. And the listener... Oh, no, a JSFL update. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I was about to do the wrap-up.
I figured that. That's why I put this in front of you. Okay. Congratulations to Rajmi. She's in first place with 24 points. 2 people lost their USB this week.
I know one of them. So sorry, David. So sorry.
Oh, okay. 36 people lost a safe point.
That would be me. 63
people earned a vote-off point for Geo.
Well, good on you.
Woohoo!
For sticking with that. I bet
should have been us.
Some of them chased that for 5 weeks.
Well, I chased him some too, and I didn't think I would. Oh, well. The side challengers with 23 points. Jeremiah's in first. With 21, Justin. 20, Parker, Rebecca, and Robert. With 19, Chris and Stacy.
Yeah, I dropped down the ladder there.
And with 18, Cold Mike.
There we go.
He saved you from being on the bottom. For now.
Yeah, for now. We'll see how it goes going forward. These making picks in this season is tricky.
I was thinking that today. Oh, don't sweat it so much. You're not in the side challenge. You don't have to worry about it.
That's right. Well, we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about this episode. That's why we do the listener feedback shows on Saturdays. The voicemail line, 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. You can write it up in an email or record your own audio. That is how you get the best quality normally. If you can get yourself to a quiet place and be still while you record. So that's due Saturday noon Pacific time. Please keep it in 3-minute range. The sooner you can get it in, the sooner we can get it ready for Saturday's show. We appreciate those folks that get it in early, but we look forward to hearing from everyone, even if you wait to the last minute. Just make sure that it gets in. We've had some folks send things, and then their email...
They didn't show up for 8 hours later or something.
More like 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So sometimes the technical stuff will glitch on you. So the sooner you get it in, the better.
The less risk.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm looking forward to hearing what people think about how this pre-merge is going to play out.
Yeah.
Because it won't get finalized, like we said, until at least the end of the episode, we think.
And what is the twist?
Yeah. So they're not going to do the hourglass, but how will that happen? And how are these people with no votes? They seem like obvious potential choices, especially Jesse, to go. So are they going to be able to build enough of an alliance? Or are they going to get lucky and be on the tribe that wins the first challenge?
Well, here's the thing that's a disadvantage is that everybody who's been out to the island to take the risk, everyone in the entire game knows who they are. So that could be a disadvantage whether you won something or you didn't. They may think you did, or you at least had the opportunity to, and it could hurt you.
My brain's glitching. I can't remember if I said the email or not. If you want to write it up or you want to record it yourself, JoanneandStacyShow@gmail.com, just to make sure that's there.
I was not listening to you, so I don't know.
Sometimes we're sitting here thinking about
So
the
an
next thing we're going to
automatic-
say,
well, I
and we
was
miss what
looking at
the
Paul's
roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good info. If you're having trouble keeping up with things, there's lots of moving parts now. That roster is an excellent way to figure out what's going on. I love being able to, at a glance, tell who's got what. And then he's got the extra info. If you go over to the right side of the roster and
You mean the left side?
the other right.
You're pointing. You're actually pointing to the left side.
I was trying to think of what that was called, the hamburger or whatever. I think that's why my brain glitched.
Those three little lines?
Yeah, the horizontal lines.
Well, we
You click
can
on
call them
that.
3 lines.
The more information's there, and he's got the details on all of the advantages that you can find there, so you can read up on the specifics.
I think it's time to fix dinner and feed you.
Mm-hmm. And you too. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Have a good one.